I have a problem. Just like everyone else, everyone has a problem with something. But this problem has to deal with people that praise this game like it's the best horror game ever. Now, to get this out of the way, I don't care if you like the game. It's not awful, especially for an indie game. But why do you hold it at such a high regard? I don't see it. It's an extremely linear walking simulator. It's a virtual haunted house, and haunted houses are not scary. So why is this game scary? The amount of scariness something has is extremely subjective, but when the game tells you to go down this hallway to progress, and go downstairs to push a button with a minor variation of a desolate room that you can go in to pick up a battery, the scares become meaningless. If you see someone run across the hallway, you are hesitant to go down it, but the game gives you no choice to. You have to go down it for the game to progress. This is not how it should work. In many games, it doesn't matter. When you see something scary, the feeling of dread is supposed to come over you because you know you're gonna have to go down there. You stay away from there, but the game keeps you entertained. Take an indie game such as the old Slender game that came out. You had to go into the bathroom area eventually. Many people were scared to go into this bathroom area, but if you didn't, you still would have to travel through the woods with a constant threat and consequence for not going into the area immediately, because picking up the pages in other areas caused the antagonist to become more hostile, making the time that you finally enter the area that much worse.
Actually, it's probably best to hit this first, because I don't want to go into the building when Slendy's after me.
Outlast just drops that whole aspect and expects you to go down that hallway with no repercussion except for boredom. You either go down the hallway, turn off your platform because you're scared, or get bored enough that you eventually go down the hallway anyway. It's a game with the illusion of choice, and that's not a good thing. I do think that games aren't always about the gameplay. The gameplay in this is an interesting approach. You can't fight, so it's a constant battle of running and hiding from things that could kill you. But if they do, what is the problem? The game saves checkpoints for you constantly. There's no problem with dying if you get a pass. This is something so many games have lost in recent years. The only game that did this mechanic right in recent was Alien Isolation, a game with the same mechanics but a better execution. You are constantly on edge about the threat at hand because of its randomness to strike at any point. The fact that it conforms to how you play is another factor. You can reach your objective in a couple of different ways that can play out differently every time depending on your equipment and how you've played the game so far. If you die, it actually matters because you could respawn losing minutes of progress, and that means something. Outlast, on the other hand, sets checkpoints without repercussion and has no variation to approach. You either hide in a locker or under a bed, then you hastily run over to a door to progress onwards. The only interesting mechanic about the game is that you can use your camera as a flashlight to document things and get notes as if it matters to the end of the game. You feel that you need to record things so you can expose a story. It means nothing. A game should not have to tell you when you need to jump to progress, or give you a game of 100% scripted events to give you a scare. Many games from all sorts of eras tend to understand this well. Resident Evil, for example, a game that set the benchmark for survival horror dating back to 1996. It makes you fear dying, on top of using its camera angles to convey fear for everything around the corner. You can take many approaches to the game, and then it implements more deadly enemies later in the game, making you reflect on what you've done in the past and how much ammo you need to use. In Outlast, a guy plays tag with you, and you have to find a way not to be it. In conclusion, I think Outlast is a good experience. It has a good story, and its linear nature tells it well. However, this better suits a movie rather than a game. People should play it and enjoy the experience, but it's not a game that should be held so highly as being one of the best horror games ever. It has almost no replay value to it. Its gameplay is interesting on paper, but executed poorly. And that's all I have to say about Outlast. If you want to discuss this further, leave your ideas down in the comments. I'd be happy to discuss with you if you're not some angry primate. Thanks for watching as always, and if you like this video, click that like button gently. If you didn't, dislike it, but leave a discussion comment. This whole channel is built around discussion and interests. I shall see you in the next video, and stay awesome.